Right, welcome to the showcase. Fancy some fun? I want you to burst into laughter with these side-spitting jokes. Not spitting, splitting. Get ready to be entertained. Click the button, like and share. We believe laughter is therapeutic, so we ask you to prepare for fun. Hold that stomach. Fun and frolic from the world of comedy. Rick Owen. Hi, Rick.
Alan Sean.
Oh, Rick,
How was Thailand?
Oh, I was Thailand. It's great, you know.
Ah.
I went to a club last night.
Yeah.
And met these couple of girls, and I was really happy. And they said, "We're going to take you home and make you feel like you've won the lottery." I said, "Get on." Yeah, took them home. They weren't wrong, you know, Rick. 6 matching balls.
I remember my first massage in Thailand.
Yeah.
She said, "Don't worry, it's not unusual to get erection." I said, "I've not got erection." She said, "I have."
Yeah, these things. And do you know what? I went to, I was playing snooker the other night, and I maybe just had a few pints, and I sat back and put my mouth was open. Some twat put a tea bag in my mouth, not treating me like a mug.
I was on the edge of my bed this morning, pulling my boxers off. My missus said, "You spoil them dogs."
Keep drinking that, Rick. It's good for you.
Great herbal tea. It's wonderful.
Why don't
I usually have whiskey and carrot juice.
Oh.
But whiskey gets me pissed, but I can see for miles.
Well, that's what it was. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Not sure.
They don't have the guts.
Unbelievable. My missus said to me last night, she said, "Do you want to play doctors and nurses?" I was like, "Fucking right, I do." So she made me sit in the corner and ignored me for 12 hours.
Oh,
how's the wife? How's Tui?
Tui's great.
Everything good?
Yeah.
I married way too young, Sean.
Did you?
She was Chinese.
Oh.
Eventually, I plucked up the courage to go down on one knee.
Yeah.
That was a sister.
Oh, dear. Why don't eggs tell jokes, Rick?
Not sure.
They cracked each other up.
Do you hear about the 2 monkeys in the bath? One said, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." The other one said, "If it's too hot, put some cold in." There's millions of jokes, Sean. There's millions, whether the PC, whether the silly kids jokes, there's millions of jokes, and you pick them up all throughout the years, and it's just something that I added to the singing, because obviously as much as I love singing, that, you know, there's nothing like making somebody laugh, you know. And
you're right.
That's why I went into it.
Throw us some more, Rick. Throw us some more.
Well, when I went to Paris to watch my dad's favourite football team, Liverpool. Obviously, Real Madrid beat them 1-0, so I was really depressed. I got to the top of the Eiffel Tower, and the police were all like watching me, and it was like, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" I said, I'm going to toss myself off. He said, "What about the people below?" I said, "They'll just think it's bird shit."
Oh,
there's so many, Sean. There's way too many. It's unbelievable. I've just got a little business, like, you know. I've gone into dealing with condoms and coffins. So my motto is going to be, you know, no matter what you need, whether you're coming or going.
That's a good one. It is. I once met an Irishman who bought a packet of condoms too long, so he cut the ends off.
People say the Irish are thick, don't they?
They do, yeah.
They're not. They're the most intelligent people in the world.
Absolutely. My mate's Irish. He put a condom on backwards and went.
I'll tell you for why. Two Irish fellas in a pub, and he said they was eating the sandwiches, and the landlord come over. They said, "You can't eat your own food in here." So they swapped. It's a good one. It's a good one. Irish fella was sat next to a Muslim on a plane. If you're a snowflake, just turn off now. He sat next to a Muslim on a plane, and the stewardess said, "Oh, Mr. Mulligan, well, would you like a drink?" He said, "I'd like a double whiskey." So she got him a double whiskey. She said to the Muslim man, "Would you like the same?" He said, "I'd rather have a dozen whores rape me than let liquor touch my lips." And Paddy gave the drink back. He said, "Me too. I didn't realise we had a choice." Imagine Claudia Schiffer. Imagine if she married Brains from Thunderbirds. Then she'd be called Schiffer Brains.
Schiffer Brains. Oh, dear. I tell you, can't beat that. Why did the bicycle fall over?
I don't know.
It was too tired.
Oh,
the simple
Sean,
ones are good.
I'm not going to add that one. There was a couple of couple of scousers, and he rang his mate and he said, "Hey mate, there's been a fire at Tesco's." And his mate went, "Asda?" It went, "No, Tesco." Then I saw a homeless bloke outside of bloody Asda, and he said, "Any change?" I said, "No, I still drive a BMW." He said, you're that singer, aren't you, that tells jokes?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Tell me a joke." I said, "Knock, knock." He said, "Who's there?" I said, "I thought you was homeless." And he got his guitar out, started playing. When I was young, life is so logical, logical, magical. I said, "Hey, that was super, Tramp." He said, "Thanks very much."
Oh, dear.
It can't stop us laughing, Sean.
Do you know what? I always say laughing is therapeutic, and it's probably one of the hardest things to do for comedians, to go in a club and sing, tell jokes, because there's always some idiot in there, and we live in this world of political correctness. You can't say this, you can't say that. And, you know, one of the best comedians for me has always been Chubby Brown.
Yeah, Bernard Manning. He always said they can't stop us laughing. Chubby Brown, an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not that. I'm a different entertainer to them, but obviously, because I'm a singer as well. But it's just about making people laugh and entertaining people and just keeping it going. And nobody knows. I always say this. My mum always said, "You're only as good as your audience."
Correct.
And I've the older I've got, the more I've believed it, and it is therapeutic. And when people see that person on stage making everybody laugh, and they don't know what's going on in their life, they have no clue.
Yeah.
So when I've been at my lowest and I've come off stage, nobody would know. Nobody would know, and it just while I'm on stage, it's like nothing's wrong. It's like
Correct.
It's like all that depression, all the things that have happened, illnesses and stuff, and it's like there's nothing wrong. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and that's why I love my job so much.
Yeah. Why did Prince Harry get kicked out of the bakery?
Go on.
Because he kept Meghan all the scones.
Oh dear.
What do you call it?
King Charles is in bloody bed, isn't he, with COVID-19? Yeah, Prince Andrew's in bed with Chloe, 14. I saw Philip Schofield, when I was in Benidorm, I saw Philip Schofield on the beach. So I went over and gave him a right good dig. And he went, "What was that for?" I said, "You're in my son."
Oh, that's good. What's the fastest cake, Rick?
It certainly is. I bumped into one of my pals down Whitefrigate the other day in Hull. I've not seen him since I left school. And he said, "I've seen you advertising stuff and, you know, you're doing comedy and singing." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm travelling all over." I said, "How's life with you?" He said, "Oh, I prepare meals for the homeless and the druggies and the alcoholics." I said, "Oh, you work in a shelter?" He says, "No, I'm manager at Wetherspoons."
It's like that, though, isn't it, in Wetherspoons?
They're queuing up at 9 o'clock to get in there. It's incredible. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you know who Robin Hood's girlfriend was? Do you remember who Robin Hood's girlfriend was?
Maid Marian? No?
Everybody says that, don't they? But that's not true. It was a woman called Trudy.
Trudy what?
Robin Hood, riding Trudy Glen.
Correct.
I got a knock on the door yesterday, and this bloke said to me, he said, "I said, "Hi, pal, what can I do for you?" He said, "I'm from Everest." I said, "Jesus, come in, you must be fucking freezing." He said, "You bought some windows off me 3 years ago, and you've not paid a penny towards them yet." I said, "Well, you said after 3 years they'll pay for themselves."
Was it bog off?
I say you buy one, you get one free.
What do you remember that?
When I was a young kid and I used to swear, my dad used to. Honestly, my dad was dyslexic, and it was funny. Every time I swore or I was naughty, he'd wash my mouth out with soup.
Oh dear.
I remember he caught me masturbating when I was 13. He said, "Stop doing that, son, you'll go blind." I said, "I'm over here, Dad."
A man walks into a pub, Rick, and orders a pint of disappointment. The barman says, "That's your wife, sir. She'll be on by 10.
It's unbelievable. There's so many. We had nothing when we was kids. North Branshome, Sean, remember that?
Yeah, I remember it, yeah.
Falkirk Close. I visited there last week. I just went to reminisce because
I bet you got a brick through with your window, didn't you?
Honestly, it was unbelievable. There was a house covered in banners and balloons. It said, "Happy 30th birthday, Grandma."
Well, I've heard that the window cleaners don't take a cloth now, they take sanders.
That's right, yeah. The window cleaner has a sander, yeah. Unbelievable.
All boarded up now.
Angela sends her regards, by the way. She's, what is she now? She's 50. Yeah, I'm 3 years older than her. So when I'm 55, when she's 55, I'll be with somebody else.
Oh, you can't beat them.
I've just got my little Fitbit on charge. Things you do in this, a brand new Fitbit, Sean.
Yeah?
Brand new Fitbit. I did a lesbian wedding.
Yeah?
And they were friends of mine, so I didn't charge them anything. But they bought me that as a gift. But I think they must have misunderstood when I said I want to watch.
Do you use your Fitbit?
All the time, yeah. All the time. I'm back in the gym now, but I joined one gym, but I found a hole in my trainer, just big enough to get 2 fingers in. Anyway, she made a complaint and now I'm banned. So I had to join somewhere else.
Oh, dear me. I think that the world of comedy has changed over the years, Rick. And, you know, where you used to go watch a blue comedian and, you know, it was no holds barred. I think now you have to hold back a bit, dear.
Well, I don't, because on my posters, on my business cards, it says not for the easily offended.
Right.
So if you're going to be easily offended, then I always have a little rant at the beginning, just to say if there is anybody going to be easily offended. I've had somebody come up to me. They've been offended by a ginger joke. They've been offended by a lesbian joke. They've been obviously offended by the PC stuff. I mean, you can't even say bloody blackboard anymore. You've got to say chalkboard. You can't even.
But they can call it a whiteboard.
Well, it's unbelievable. You can't even say blackboard anymore. You can't even say black paint anymore. You've got to say, Leroy, paint that fucking wall.
Oh, they're the best, aren't they?
I bumped into a kid, and this is unbelievable. I did a show in about an hour away, near Sheffield, Worksop.
Yeah.
About a week last Saturday, and it was incredible, Sean. It was there was all fresh meat. There was all people that had never seen me before. There was a coloured lady in the audience, and I said to the organizer, I said, you know, I am close to the edge, and you know, I do, you know, all types of different jokes. I said, I'm not pointing anybody out here. I said, but there's a lady in the audience, and she's of colour, and does she know what I'm all about? And she happened to be with a guy that he was a regular in there, but he'd only been seeing her a few days. Anyway, 10 minutes into my show, they both got up and walked out. So there was a little bit offended by some of the things I said. But everybody was like, after the first set, everybody was coming and saying, listen, please don't be upset about, you know, people leaving. It's just, obviously, they didn't know what to expect, which is absolutely fine. And that's why I always say on the posters, not for the easily offended. And then the following week, I had a night off, and I met a couple of friends in town. I got talking to this young black kid, and he must have been about 22, 23. He asked what I did. I asked what he said, oh, tell me a joke and all this. And anyway, we got talking, and I told him that a black lady had, you know, left. And he said, I don't understand all this, pal. He said, I'm a coloured man myself. And he said, I don't understand it. He said, it's just a joke. I watch all sorts of comedians, and I says, do you know what? You're an absolute breath of fresh air. And that's coming from a black man. It's just.
Well, do you know what, Rick?
It's got stupid, Sean. It's got stupid.
At home, you can put on television and watch Paul Smith. Have you seen him, the Scouser?
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God, he rips into everybody with
massively
vulgarity.
Exactly, yeah. And he's been very clever at what he's done. He's done it really cleverly, and is obviously is a millionaire now, and he did it on. Obviously, he's used the internet to do this, and he's had so many. You know, it's gone viral, and obviously now he does his tours. And I wish him all the best.
The good thing is about home, you can turn your channel over, just like you can walk out of a pub. So what's the difference? You
exactly. People are just too sensitive nowadays.
I've never understood people going to a Chubby Brown and then walking out halfway through.
No.
You know,
you know what you know what to expect.
Yeah,
it says what it says on the.
And I still watch Chubby Brown on telly. He's just so funny, isn't he?
Yeah. Even these people that don't get it. I respect that. That's everybody has a choice. Everybody has an opinion, and that's their opinion. But you know, I've got a job to do, and I'm going to do it. It's just a laugh. It's just a joke. It's just comedy. It's not, I used to make. This is pinnacle for me. I took the piss out of my father for 25 years. God rest him.
Mm.
Love you, Pops. 25 years I took the piss out of my dad. And does that mean I'm racist towards my dad?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you understand? Well, Jimmy Carr, he said somebody walked out because they were offended. He said, "Where are you going?" They said, "This is disgusting. I'm leaving." And it was on one of his shows. And he says, right then, he says, well, from now on, he said, if anybody's offended, I'm going to apologise. So somebody said, "I'm offended," and Jimmy Carr went, "I'm sorry." So she said, "You didn't really mean that." So I said, right then, so I can apologise and you can tell me I don't mean it, but I can't tell a joke and not mean it. Are you getting it yet? Are you getting it? Do you know what I mean? It's just I've got a job to do, and that's what I'm going to do. You know, if anybody's offended, then please don't come to the show. But I'm just a cheeky chappie. I'm just a cheeky chappie that sings, that takes requests, that you know, everybody in front of me needs entertaining, and that is what I do. I do my utmost to do.
How do you feel when you're on stage and you see people get up and walk out? Does it kind of like give you a thought?
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often. I'd say I can't remember the last time it happened, barring last Saturday with the coloured lady.
It just don't happen, yeah.
Because I wear my heart on my sleeve. Maybe part of me thinks, you know, I want to chase after her and say, look, you know, I don't mean any offence. I'm a nice normal kid. Part of me wants to do that because I wanted to see what an okay guy I am, you know. But it's not. I shouldn't really do that because they've got to understand my job.
Correct.
And I'm sure Gary Skinner would agree. Good friend, and
there's many of them, Rick. Many of them.
Yeah, it is. So, there's a lot of comedians that do clean as well, but I've got more cheeky gags than clean, I'm afraid. So I don't think I could do a clean show.
Well, I think cheeky's great for what you do. Yeah. We've been watching Rick Owen explaining about what he does in his act. He's a cheeky chappie. Now, if you're from Hull, you'll know Rick Owen. If you're not from Hull, you'll soon know Rick Owen because he's getting around a bit now. And and if he does come to your venue or you want to book him, then you know, just find him on YouTube or anywhere. You'll see him all over the place. You won't be disappointed. Just put that poster up. If easily offended, you know, don't come.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But if you want fun, he's your man. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the bit of fun that we've had today. No offence taken to anybody. And keep up the good work, Rick. We'll do another one soon.
Sean, you should be proud of yourself. You've done a great job with everybody, and I'm sure that goes for everybody as well that you've interviewed, and you're doing an absolute fab job. So
yeah, that's kind of you, Rick. That's very kind of you.
All right, my friend.